Good morning everyone. Today we will go for the anatomy of a diaphragm. Diaphragm is a very important structure, okay, in the respiratory system, and it divides the thoracic chamber and abdomen, or it differentiates or it separates the thorax and abdomen by the thin sheath like structure. Okay, you can see in this picture. Okay, I will put one picture in that. Okay, this is a flying eagle. What? Flying eagle. In that you see the wings, arrangement of wings. Okay, how the wings are arranged. Okay, that same way diaphragm also arranged in the abdomen. Okay, it also has a contraction and relax. Okay, relaxation works. Okay, it is a fibromuscular structure. First of all, diaphragm is a fibromuscular structure. Okay, first you can see in this picture how I will put the picture of flying eagles and what are the wings of a eagle, what you can see in this picture. That same way diaphragm also, okay, arranged in the abdomen or in the body or in the thorax. It separates the thorax and abdomen. You can see how the arrangement of a diaphragm muscle, okay, is there. Okay, actually it is a dome shaped. Okay, or you look like a parachute. How the parachute is there. Okay, that same way. Okay, it is the arrangement of a diaphragm is there in the body. Okay, it is in a dome. Okay, you can already know what is meant by dome. Okay, you can some temples you can see the dome. That same way it is the arrangement, or it is a look like a parachute shape. Okay, and you can for easy knowing or easy understanding, the arrangement of a diaphragm is like a how in this picture eagle is flying. Okay, that same way the wings, how the wings are arranged in this picture, that same way the arrangement of a diaphragm is there. In that it is a body of the eagle. Okay, in the center. That same way this is the wings are attached to the body of a eagle. That same way the diaphragm muscle, this is a muscular, fibromuscular, that is attached or origin from the where in the center, or tendinous part, sorry, not a origin, insertion you can say like that. Okay, that same way the tendinous part are attached to the mainly in the at the center. You see in this wing eagle, these wings are attached to the body of the eagle. That same way, okay, that same way it is also attached to the, or it has the insert or tendinous part is present at the center. Okay, diaphragm, it is a dome shaped muscular or fibromuscular structure. Okay, and membranous structure that separates the thoracic, means chest, and abdominal cavity. In mammals it is a principal muscle of respiration. Okay, in word diaphragm, okay, it is come from the Greek. Okay, in diaphragm, in that dia means through or apart, and phragm means fins. Fins means FENCE, fins. Okay, and in that it means which is separates. Okay, or it is present front. Okay, in Greek meaning of diaphragm is partition. Okay, diaphragm, meaning of diaphragm is partition. Why it is a partition? It is due the separation between the chest and abdomen. That's why it is a partition. Okay, diaphragm is a sheath of internal skeletal muscle that extends across the bottom of thoracic cavity, and diaphragm is a thin sheath of material forming a partition between the abdomen and chest. and it do the partition between the abdomen and chest. We can go for the next slide. Okay, you can see here, this is a diaphragm. It is like same way it is present in the body. You can see here this also. Okay, this is above is the what, chest region, and below it is a abdominal region. Okay, like same way it is arranged in the body. Okay, the diaphragm is a shape like a parachute. Okay, you can see here how it is looking. It is look like a same like a parachute like. Okay, it has a 4 ends here also. Okay, is how it is look. It is look like a parachute. Okay, in next slide, it is a fibromuscular or musculotendinous structure. Okay, that separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. The main function is it is the help in the respiration, in that mainly inspiration. Because of this movement of a diaphragm only, okay, there is downward movement or upward movement of the diaphragm, or contraction or relaxation of a fibromuscular or tendinous structure of diaphragm. By that only negative pressure and positive pressure was developed in the thoracic cavity. Because of that only the respiration was occur. Okay, when it is go down, that there is forms the negative pressure, okay, in the lungs, and that in that time it helps in the inspiration. And when it is relax, that time it forms the what, positive pressure. Like that, the positive negative pressure of the thoracic cavity, it is mainly depend on the this muscle. Which muscle? By the diaphragm, fibromuscular. It develops from the inner transverse layer body wall muscles. Okay, now overview. Okay, the diaphragm is on sheath. How it is sheath is there, that it is sheath like. Okay, thin sheath like that differentiates the chest and what, the diaphragm is a sheath like. Okay, because of that sheath, that differentiates the chest and thorax. Okay, and how it is look, it is look like a dome shaped when it is relaxed. Okay, when it is relaxed, that time it is look like a dome shape. You can see here, it is how it is looking. It is looking as a dome shaped. Okay, or you also say as a, it is a look like a parachute. Okay, parachute shaped, and it is a skeleton muscle. First of all, skeleton muscle. And what is that did? It separates the thoracic cavity above from the abdominal cavity below. And it is a most important muscle of respiration. Okay, it is a introduction or overview about the diaphragm. Now we can say the how it is formed or how it is arranged. It has the two domes, one on right side, one on left side. You can see it is a one dome and another it is a second dome. Okay, and central it is a tendinous part. Okay, I already explained the structure of eagle. In that, this is a left wing, this is a right wing, and this is a central part. Central part is a tendinous part, and lateral parts are the what, muscular part. Okay, now it has the right dome, left dome, and central tendon. Okay, and right dome. Now we can explain the right dome. From where to where it is present, and it is reaches the, and right dome it is reaches the upper border of the fifth rib. Okay, and left dome it is reaches the lower border of the fifth rib. Why it is a right side, it is upper? Because just below that the most biggest organ, okay, is present, which is the liver. Okay, liver abdominal. In that, liver is more so large and it is present just more big in size. Because of that, the right side right dome is present little bit above or upper border of the fifth rib, and left dome it is a lower border of the fifth rib. Then central tendon, it is lies at the level of the gypoid process or gypisternal process point joint. Okay, this is a gypoid process, this is the sternum, and it is the central point. It is a level at the gypisternal joint. Okay, and you can see this is the fifth costal rib. Okay, and this is a lower border of the fifth costal rib. Okay, and this is a upper border of the fifth costal rib. Or you can also say that it is present in between the fourth and fifth intercostal space. Okay, right dome it is present or reaches up to the fourth and fifth intercostal space or upper border of the fifth rib. And also say as a it is in the left dome, it is reaches up to the lower border of the fifth rib. Okay, now we can go for the right dome is higher than the left dome because of the liver. The central tendon lies between the dooms, okay, and at the lower level. The central tendon is fused above with the pericardium. Peri means periphery or around. Cardium means heart. Around the heart, one layer is there, okay, or one protective layer is there, or one covering is there, that is as a pericardium. Now, actions of the diaphragm. Okay, the main action of the diaphragm, contraction of a diaphragm that flattens the diaphragm, vertical diameter for thorax that is increased because of flatten. Okay, happens in inspiration. Quiet breathing, it is 1.5 centimeter, and deep breathing, it is 6 to 10 centimeter. Okay, and expulsive act, sneezing, coughing, laughing, crying, vomiting, okay, defecation, perturbation, micturition, deep inspiration, closure of the gluteus, and powerful contraction of trunk muscle. It is all will happen because of the action of a diaphragm. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Now in that about diaphragm, okay, we got the what is the where it is muscle. Okay, first of all, diaphragm is a fibromuscular structure. How it will look? It is a dome shaped or parachute shaped, and how it is sheath like. Okay, and it is differentiate the thorax and abdominal cavity, or it separates or do the partition. Main function, it is a main breathing muscle present in the body, and it helps in the inspiration, or it helps in the create the negative pressure in the thorax. Okay, and this is has a two domes and one central tendon. Right dome, left dome, and central tendon. Okay, in that we know that this is a first fibromuscular or musculotendinous structure. Now in that muscle means it has its origin and it has a insertion. Okay, now you can study the origin, insertion, nerve supply, and action of the diaphragm. Okay, in origin of a diaphragm, it is origin from the three parts. Okay, the diaphragm originates, okay, from the three parts, or is it grouped into three parts. One is sternal part, it is present in the sternum. Origin on that the sternal part. One is from the costal part. Costal means from the ribs. Another origin from the lumbar part. Okay, in that lumbar means these are lumbar vertebrae. Okay, costal means costochondral, or costal means from the ribs. Okay, sternal means it is one bone present in the mid at the thoracic. Okay, when you go for the study of the bones, that time you can understand. Okay, in lumbar part also there is some medial lumboscrotal arch. There is forming of the arching. Okay, there is a tendinous or muscular arch was formed. Okay, because of that arch it is originate. And lateral lumbosacral arch, right crus and left crus. I will show all how it is originate everything. Okay, now it is now one part is origin from the sternal part. Okay, this is a sternum and this is a xiphoid process, and this is a joint between the sterno-xiphoid joint. Okay, sternal part means it is from the sternum. This is a sternum bone. Okay, this is a sternal bone. Okay, one is origin from the sternal part, in that where arise by the two fleshy slips. Okay, sternal origin arise from the two fleshy slips from the back of the xiphoid process. This is a xiphoid process. Okay, in that you can know that one is the sternal part, another one is a costal part. This is a costal, means ribbal part origin, and another one is from the lumbosacral. Okay, this is or lumbar part. In that you can say arching. Okay, these are the arch. You can see these are the arch. Okay, this is a lumbocostal arch. Okay, these are arch, you can see here. Okay, like that. In that we can in this slide sternal part. It is just behind the sternum. Okay, in that just behind the sternum, in that xiphoid process. One is from the xiphoid process. And what is white color you can see, this is a tendinous part or insertion part. Okay, this is about the sternal part. In sternum, where it is origin, it arises by the two fleshy slips from the back of the xiphoid process. This is a xiphoid process. Okay, now costal means ribs. Okay, in ribs also say as a costal. Okay, in that is originated from the costal ribs. Okay, that's a costal from where it is arise in the inner surface of the cartilaginous. These are the cartilagineous. Adjacent part of the 6 ribs on each side. Okay, and interdigitating with the transverse abdominis. Okay, this is origin from the costal part. Costal means it is originate from the costal, from after adjacent part of the 6th lower rib. Okay, 6th lower rib on each side, and interdigitating with the transverse abdominis. Okay, now you can go for the lumbar part. Okay, in that first you go for the lumbosacral. What is meant by lumbosacral? In that medial lumbocostal, not a sacral, that is costal. Costal means rib and lumbar means lumbar vertebrae. It is present in between the costal means rib and lumbar region. There is forming of arches are there. Okay, from that arches there is a origin. Okay, one at the medial lumbosacral arch. Okay, you can see here these are some arches. You can see here this is also, and this is also arch. Okay, you can see that this is arch, and here is another one arch. This is arch formed because of the psoas major muscle. Okay, this is a present towards the medial side. Okay, and this is the lumbar region, and here it you can come see these are the ribs actually, and it is present in between the costal and lumbar. That's why it is a lumbocostal arch, and this is present at the medial side. That's why it is as a medial lumbocostal arch. Lumbar part in lumbocostal arch, in that you can see this is a tendinous part or tendinous arch. Okay, it is formed on the psoas major muscle. Okay, and it is present medially. That's why it is as a medial lumbocostal arch. Okay, medially attached to the side of the body of the vertebrae 1. It is a vertebra 1, and laterally attached to the front of the transverse. This is the transverse process of the vertebrae. Okay, vertebra L1. You can see here these are the transverse processes. Okay, this is the transverse processes. In that it is laterally attached to the front of the transverse processes of the vertebrae 1. You can see here in this picture clearly. This is a this is the medial lumbocostal arch. You can see here. Okay, this is a medial lumbocostal arch, and here you can see this is like this. Okay, and this is the psoas major muscle, and it is present just above the psoas major muscle. Okay, and it is attached at the body of the L1 vertebra. Okay, you can see this is a L1 means lumbar vertebra, and this is the transverse processes. You can see these are the transverse processes. Another end is attached to the lateral end, attached to the transverse processes of the L1 vertebra. Okay, this is the medial arcuate ligament, you can say, or medial lumbocostal origin of the diaphragm. You can see this is a diaphragm muscle. Okay, and this is the left lateral lumbocostal. This is lumbar and this is a costal. Okay, and this is and it is somewhat acute than the lateral. Okay, this is a medial lumbocostal origin of the diaphragm. This is a diaphragm, and what you seeing this one, these are the crus. This is the right crus and this is the left crus. This is the right crus. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Okay, in that also you can easily understand. This is the medial, okay, medial lumbocostal origin. In that, this is the first arch like structure. Okay, and it is the psoas major muscle. Okay, and this is L1 vertebrae. This is the transverse processes. Okay, and this is the lateral. Okay, and this is the origin of a lumbocostal origin of a diaphragm. Okay, and these are what you can say, these are the crus. This is the right crus and this is the left crus of a diaphragm. Okay, now we can go for the lateral lumbocostal arch. Okay, now we can go for the medial. This is a medial. Now it is going for the lateral. This is the medial, and then it is a lateral. This is the costal, and this is a vertebra. Okay, lumbar vertebra. Yeah, in that, this is medial is present on the psoas major muscle. Okay, now we can go for the lateral lumbocostal arch. It's a tendinous arch of a fascia covering upper part of the quadratus lumborum muscle and medially attached to the front of the transverse processes vertebra L1. Okay, laterally attached to the lower body of the 10th rib. Okay, you can see already I will say this is origin at the attached where it is lateral body lumbar arch is from. Okay, lumbocostal arch from. It is medially transverse processes, and this is a vertebra, and this is a lumborum, quadratus lumborum muscle. Okay, and it is present like this. This is from also it is originate. Okay, of the lateral lumbocostal arch. Okay, now we can go further, and this is a right crus, and this is a left crus. Okay, right crus from the L4 and left crus from the L3, and it is along with the just lateral to the aorta. Okay, there is aorta is there. Okay, now can go the study of the right crus of a diaphragm. It is arise from the anterolateral surface of the body of the upper 3 lumbar vertebrae. Okay, means L1, L2 and L3, and inverting the intravertebral disc. Okay, and left crus, it arises from the corresponding part of the upper 2 lumbar vertebrae and medial margin of the 2 crus from the tendinous arc across the front of the aorta, and that is a median arcuate ligament. Okay, in this picture you can see easily. Okay, this is the right crus and this is the left crus. Okay, it is right crus from the upper 3 vertebrae L1, L2, L3, and body of the vertebra and intravertebral disc. It is originate. Okay, and the left crus from the upper to lumbar vertebrae, and medial margin crus from the tendinous part, and that crosses the aorta. And this is from the aorta, it crosses aorta, or it covers the laterally the aorta and forms the median arcuate ligament. This is say as a median arcuate ligament. This is left crus and right crus joins together and forms the tendinous arc across the front of the aorta, and that it is say as a median arcuate ligament. Can go for the next slide. In this you can easily make out, this is the this is the right crus and this is the left crus. Right crus from the L1, L2, L3 and intravertebral disc, and this is the left crus. And these tendinous part of the these crus join together and form a arc like structure. And that arc like structure is say as a median arcuate ligament, and this arc it forms the or covers the aorta. Just front of the aorta it is the arc is there, that covers the aorta. That's why this arc is say as a median arcuate ligament. Median arcuate ligament. Now you can see how the median arcuate ligament, lateral arcuate ligament and median arcuate ligament was formed. You can see this is a lateral arcuate from the transverse process to the 12th rib. This is the 12th floating rib. This is the 12th floating rib here also. And this is the another one is a medial, medial, not a median, medial arcuate ligament. Arcuate, why it is a arcuate? They are look like a arc or curve. That's why arcuate. Medial arcuate from the body of the vertebrate to the transverse processes of the vertebrae, and from the tendinous arc like structure, that is a medial arcuate. Now median arcuate. Median arcuate is formed by the tendinous part of the right crus and left crus joins together and forms a arc like structure. That arc like structure is say as a median arcuate ligament. Now we can go for the median arcuate ligaments. There are three type of arcuate ligaments. One is a medial, one is a lateral, another was a median. Median means center, middle is just and lateral like that. And median arcuate ligament. Median arcuate ligaments formed by the tendinous fibers from the medial edges of left and right crura of diaphragm or crus of the diaphragm. Then arcuate ligaments. In that median, middle and lateral. You can see in this picture also. This is a median arcuate ligament, this is a middle arcuate ligament, and this is a lateral arcuate ligament. You can now already discuss the origins of the diaphragm. One is sternal, one from the costal, one from the lumbar. In that median arcuate one, lateral one, and crus of the diaphragm or median arcuate ligament. Or you can right crus and left crus. These are the origin. You can see here these fibers. This is the from the right crus, it is from the left crus, and this is the from the median arcuate, and this is from the lateral arcuate. Like that, these are all do the helps to the origin of the diaphragm. Now you can go for the arcuate ligaments. The right and left crura and the fibrous median arcuate ligament, which unite them at its arches over the anterior aspect of the aorta, forms the aortic hiatus. The diaphragm is also attached to the each side of the medial and lateral arcuate ligament. The median arcuate ligament is spanning between the lumbar vertebral bodies and the tip of the transverse processes. And lateral arcuate ligament continuing from the L1 L1 to L2 transverse processes of the tip of process to the tip of the 12th rib. 12th rib is floating rib. Okay. Can already I will told. Okay. What are these are say as a coastal origin. These are, can see this much, you can see these are the inferior border, these are the coastal or ribs. Okay, and this is this one part is say as a coastal origin of a diaphragm, and this is the xiphoid process or sternal part. This one is say as a sternal origin of a diaphragm. Here also you can see as a this is a coastal. Now we can go for the lumbar origin. In that, this is the left crus and this is the right crus. Okay, this is one origin, and this is another one is lumbocoastal. Means it involved lumbar also and coastal also. Okay, that's it why the lumbocoastal. And this is a median arcuate ligament or median lumbocoastal. Okay, and this is a lateral lumbocoastal. Okay. This is a median from the psoas major muscle and covers the median arcuate ligament. Okay, and this is the lateral, and lateral is the quadratus muscle, quadratus lumborum muscle. This forms the posterior wall of the abdomen. Okay, and these are the origin, and this part is from the median lumbosacral origin, and this part is as a lateral lumbosacral origin, and this is a median. Okay, from the right class and left class, and you can see here. Okay, this is a medial arcuate ligament, and this is a lateral arcuate ligament, and this is a median in front of the aorta. It covers, this is the right crus and left crus tendinous part attached and forms the arch like or arc like structure, and that is present on just front of the aorta. And this is a celiac trunk, and these are the phrenic artery. Just above that it forms the arcuate ligament, and this is a median arcuate ligament. Okay, and another one is, this is for the in the tendinous part of the diaphragm. There are the three openings are there. This is for the inferior vena cava, this is for the esophagus, and this is for the aorta. Okay. Now we can go for the medial arcuate ligament. Okay, arc over the psoas major, medial, not a median, medial. Okay, bilateral sympathetic chain passes posterior to the ligament, and lateral arcuate ligament arc over the quadratus lumborum muscle, bilateral, and right and left diaphragmatic crus both cura from the aortic hiatus and median arcuate ligament. Right crus forms the esophageal hiatus. A median arcuate ligament arc over the aorta unpaired, and this is a esophageal hiatus, and this is for our inferior vena cava. Okay. Now insertion. Okay, or tendinous part of a diaphragm. Okay. The white color what you seen, that is the insertion or tendinous part of the diaphragm. Okay, the and it is present at the center of a diaphragm. Okay, just above the tendinous part or just above the insertion, there is the pericardium is there, or pericardium is situated on the tendinous part of the diaphragm. Okay. The insertion into the central tendon of diaphragm. There are trilobar in shape or three leaflets. You can see here there is a three leaflets are there. Okay, I already told this is one leaflet, this is another one leaflet, and this is another one leaflet. This is the middle leaflet, this is a right lateral right leaflet, and this is the left leaflet. Like that there is a three leaflets, and this is a central tendon. Okay, that's why it is say as a trilobar in shape, and three as the 3 leaflets, and then middle leaflet, it is from the sternum or xiphoid process. This is middle leaflet, it is a triangular in shape, okay, with apex is directed towards the xiphoid process, okay, like that. You can see there, this like this. This is triangular in shape, middle leaflet, okay, and it is directed towards the xiphoid process. Right and left leaflets, they are look like a tongue shaped, okay, you can see the tongue shaped, curved laterally and backwards. Left is narrower than the right. And central tendinous part, central point, is 4 well marked diagonal band comes out from the central point of the decussans or intersection, located in front of the esophageal opening. This is a esophageal opening. Just above the front of that, there is a central tendon. You can see in this picture easily. This is the middle leaflet, and it is a triangular in shape. Apex is directed towards the xiphoid process. This is the left leaflet, and this is the right leaflet. The both leaflets are look like a tongue shaped, but left leaflet is narrower than the right leaflet. And this is a central tendon, and this is the opening for the esophagus. Just above the esophageal opening, there is a central tendon is there, okay, and it is a in shape, okay. The central tendon, it is look like a diagonal in shape. You can see this is the what our tendinous part or insertion of the diaphragm. It is inserted by the 3 main, where there is also 3 origins are there. One is the sternal or from the xiphoid process, one from the costal, this is a costal, and one from the lumbar, okay. And this is a costal and lumbar, everything forms the leaflets, okay. And all the this is the middle leaflet is formed by the sternal part, okay. And this is the centrally they are attached and forms the marked as a diagonal shaped tendon, that is a central tendon, okay. You can see just above the esophageal opening, there is a central tendon. You can see here, this is a diaphragm, okay. Diaphragm, it will look like dome shape. And what is the white color, what you can see, this is a nothing but a tendinous part of a diaphragm or insertion of a diaphragm, and there is some openings are there, okay. Okay, say this is the inferior vena cava, this is the esophagus, and this is the aorta, okay. First opening esophagus, you can see towards the anterior, you can see first you can got the esophagus, then second got the first got the inferior vena cava, and second got the esophagus, and third got the what aorta, okay. This is the nerve supply of the diaphragm, okay. Now applied anatomy of the diaphragm, it is a hiccup, peripheral or central, shoulder tip pain, unilateral paralysis of a diaphragm, eventration, and diaphragmatic hernia, which is congenital or acquired, okay. And another one is main is the respiration, cough, micturition, anything. This is because of a diaphragm, okay. Thank you very